Imagine the following situation. Your partner gets a late night message. How do you react? Who is it? Why are they messaging you now? If we're being honest, that's probably what comes to mind, right? It's such a common reaction, one fueled by a mix of curiosity and insecurity. But have you ever stopped to think about what's really driving that response? Is it love, or is it something deeper, like fear or doubt? And that brings us to a question we've all heard before. Have you ever heard someone say that jealousy is proof of love? It sounds kind of romantic, doesn't it? That idea that if someone gets jealous, it must mean they really care. But what if I told you this belief could be one of the biggest traps for your relationship? Research shows that jealousy isn't about how much you love someone, it's about how much you fear losing them or feeling like you're not enough. So why do we romanticize jealousy? Maybe it's because we see it everywhere, in movies, TV shows, and even on social media. The boyfriend who freaks out because his girlfriend liked someone's photo, or the partner who forbids the other from going out alone. It might seem like attention or care, but it's really a sign of deep insecurity. Today, let's break down this idea that jealousy equals love, and understand how it actually destroys trust and drives people apart. You'll learn how to spot toxic jealousy, distinguish it from healthy care, and of course, handle it in a constructive way. By the end, I'll even share some practical examples to help you recognize whether it's jealousy or real love in action. Ready to change how you view jealousy? Stick with me and let's dive in. So, where does the idea that jealousy is love come from? The belief that jealousy equals love is deeply rooted in our culture, and it's not hard to see why. From an early age, we're exposed to stories, songs, movies, and even family advice that romanticize jealous behavior as a sign of care or passion. But in reality, it's just an idealization that often overlooks the damage jealousy can do to a relationship. Think about classic movies or TV shows. How many times have you seen a main character throw a jealous tantrum to prove how much they love someone? They interrupt dates, pick fights with potential rivals, or even try to control what their partner does. These actions are often portrayed as grand romantic gestures, making the audience root for the couple. But does this behavior really show love? The answer is no. Most of the time it reveals fear, possessiveness, and above all, deep insecurity. Music tells the same story. Lyrics about not being able to stand the idea of someone else being with your partner, or songs describing obsessive behavior, are often celebrated as romantic. And let's be honest, it's easy to relate to them, right? They make us believe that jealousy is a sign of true, strong love. But this kind of narrative is dangerous because it normalizes behaviors that at their core are toxic and destructive. After all, we live in the real world, not in a movie. On top of cultural influences, there's also social pressure. Sometimes when someone says they don't feel jealous, people assume they don't care enough. Jealousy gets treated like a love thermometer. This puts people in a tricky spot, making them think they need to show jealousy to prove their love. As a result, jealousy becomes a kind of currency in relationships, which can lead to controlling or even abusive behaviors. Another important factor is personal and family experiences. Growing up in an environment where jealousy was normalized, whether by parents, relatives, or authority figures, can shape how we view relationships. For example, if you grew up watching one parent being extremely jealous, and that was interpreted as care, you're likely to associate that behavior with love. This creates a tough cycle to break, where jealousy is seen as natural and even necessary. Psychology also gives us insight into this belief. At its core, jealousy is an instinct tied to self-preservation. It has evolutionary roots in the fear of losing something or someone important, but what once served as a survival mechanism in ancient times can become a major trap in modern romantic relationships. When natural feelings of jealousy are fueled by insecurity, they stop being helpful and turn into something destructive. And let's not forget the role of social media. Today more than ever, people are exposed to interactions that can spark jealousy. Likes, comments, DMs, all of these can be seen as threats, especially in an insecure relationship. And unfortunately, many jealous behaviors are validated online with phrases like, if they're not jealous, they don't really love you. This reinforces the cycle and makes it harder to build relationships based on trust. Now, just to be clear, I'm talking about unfounded jealousy, okay? If your partner is actually being shady, you have every right to be upset. That's why it's important to emphasize that jealousy itself isn't the problem. Feeling jealous occasionally is human and can even be healthy if it's understood and managed in a mature way. The issue is the belief that jealousy is proof of love, which creates unrealistic expectations and harmful behaviors. Loving someone doesn't mean trying to control or monitor them. Love is about trust, respect, and recognizing the other person as an autonomous individual. Realizing that jealousy isn't synonymous with love can be liberating. It opens the door to healthier relationships where care and trust are the foundation. So the next time you hear someone say jealousy is a sign of love, stop and think, is it building or breaking the relationship? Let's talk about the negative impact of jealousy on relationships. When not handled well, jealousy can be one of the most destructive forces in a relationship. While it's a natural emotion rooted in the fear of losing someone important, uncontrolled jealousy can erode the foundation of any healthy relationship. Trust. Let's break down how jealousy, instead of protecting love, can actually weaken it, creating an atmosphere of distrust. One of the first negative impacts of jealousy is the constant atmosphere of suspicion it creates. Excessive jealousy can lead to behaviors like checking your partner's phone, questioning every outing, or interpreting innocent actions as threats. This makes the other person feel like they're under constant surveillance or being unfairly accused, leading to a cycle of tension. Imagine you go out for dinner with friends, and when you come back, you're hit with an interrogation. Where were you? Who were you with? What did you talk about? Over time, this suffocating behavior can drive an emotional wedge between partners. Instead of bringing you closer, it creates distance as one person pulls away to avoid conflict. And let's be real, your peace of mind is gone, replaced by overthinking and spiraling worst-case scenarios. Breaking down healthy communication. Communication is the backbone of any strong relationship, but jealousy can quickly tear it apart. Instead of open and honest conversations, couples may fall into a cycle of accusations and defensiveness. Simple discussions can turn into heated arguments where the focus shifts from solving the problem to proving who's right or wrong. Take a scenario where someone sees their partner liking a photo on social media. Instead of calmly expressing how it made them feel, they explode into accusations. The other person, feeling attacked, gets defensive, and suddenly it's a full-blown argument where no one really listens. Even worse, this dynamic can lead to lying as a defense mechanism. Congratulations, you now have a relationship filled with fights and dishonesty. And it doesn't stop there. Jealousy doesn't just harm the person feeling it, it deeply affects the one on the receiving end too. The jealous partner often struggles with feelings of inadequacy, as if they're not good enough for their significant other. This insecurity gets projected onto their partner, who starts to feel guilty for things they didn't even do. Over time, both individuals can suffer from eroded self-esteem. Someone who's constantly the target of jealousy may start questioning their own freedom and even their identity. Meanwhile, the jealous person might believe they need to control their partner to keep the relationship intact, reinforcing a toxic cycle of low self-confidence. And let me be honest with you, if someone wants to cheat, they'll find a way to do it. Jealousy won't stop it. Crossing healthy boundaries. When jealousy becomes a constant, it can lead to behaviors that go way beyond what's healthy. Spying on messages, dictating who the partner can see or where they can go, or using emotional manipulation to avoid perceived threats are all examples of this. These actions don't just weaken the relationship, they can turn it into something oppressive and abusive. For example, a partner who demands to know every detail of the other's day, who they spoke to, why they took so long to reply to a text, isn't showing care. They're exhibiting controlling behavior. This kind of behavior can make the relationship feel heavy, draining all the joy and comfort out of it. Instead of a safe space built on love and support, the relationship becomes an emotional battlefield. Take John, for instance. On his way home from work, he bumps into an old high school friend and they chat for 15 minutes about life. Both are happily married, living their lives. But when John gets home, he feels like he can't share this innocent encounter with Laura, his girlfriend, because she'll bombard him with questions, stalk the friend on social media, and turn the rest of the week into a nightmare. Sounds exhausting, right? When jealousy isn't addressed properly, it can lead to the end of the relationship. The buildup of distrust, arguments, and emotional exhaustion makes the relationship unsustainable. Ironically, the fear of losing someone, the very thing that fuels jealousy, ends up being the reason they're lost. But here's the good news. Jealousy can be worked through. Acknowledging its presence and finding healthy ways to manage it is the first step. Instead of feeding suspicions, have conversations. Instead of trying to control, choose trust. When jealousy is transformed into dialogue and personal growth, it stops being a threat and becomes an opportunity to strengthen the relationship. The next time you feel jealous, ask yourself, is this bringing me closer to or further from the person I love? The answer could change everything. I know overcoming jealousy isn't easy, but it's absolutely possible with dedication and self-awareness. Let me walk you through some practical strategies to turn this emotion into something constructive. The first step in dealing with jealousy is understanding that it's not caused by your partner's actions, but by your own insecurities. Instead of blaming them, reflect on what's triggering these feelings. Ask yourself, is this about something that's actually happening, or is it about my own fears? Jealousy often stems from feeling inadequate or afraid you're not enough. Strengthening your self-esteem is key to overcoming it. Practice self-care, celebrate your achievements, and remind yourself of what makes you unique. When you have confidence in yourself, jealousy loses its grip. One of the best antidotes to jealousy is honest communication. Share your feelings with your partner calmly and openly, without accusations. For example, say, "When this happens, I feel insecure. Can we talk about it?" This creates a safe space for both of you to address concerns together. Trust takes time to develop. Keep your promises, be transparent, and show that your partner can rely on you. Trust is a two-way street, and building it together strengthens your relationship's foundation. If jealousy feels overwhelming and hard to manage, don't hesitate to seek professional help. A therapist can help you unpack your emotions and develop tools to work through them. Overcoming jealousy takes effort, but the rewards are worth it. Healthy relationships are built on trust and respect, and working on these aspects is a true act of love for yourself and your partner. Here's a guide to help you navigate situations that often stir up jealousy. We'll explore impulsive, toxic reactions versus balanced, constructive ones. Use this as a tool to reflect on your own responses and practice healthier ways to handle similar situations. Imagine the following situation. Your partner gets a late-night message. How do you react? Who is it? Why are they messaging you now? Or do you say something like, "I saw you got a late message. Is everything okay? Can I help with something?" Or the following situation happens. Your partner likes someone attractive's photo on social media. Automatically you respond, "Are you into them now? Why would you like that?" When should you say, "I noticed you liked that post. It made me feel a little off. Can we talk about it?" I know it's hard, but a healthy relationship works. Maybe your partner casually mentions an ex. I guess the answer is, you're still thinking about them? Do you want them back? When should it be? That's interesting. What made you think of them? When your partner goes to an event without you, how do you respond? "You just want to have fun without me. I bet someone else is there." Or do you say something like, "Have a great time. Can't wait to hear about it later"? Or instead, a friend of the opposite gender sends a friendly message. It's something like, "Why are they talking to you? I don't trust this." Or do you keep calm and say something like, "It's nice you have friends you can rely on. That's great." Here's some great advice. When you find yourself in situations like these, pause and consciously choose a balanced response. Now let's talk about transforming jealousy into growth. Jealousy, while natural, should never be mistaken for love. When we see it as a reflection of insecurity, we gain the opportunity to work on ourselves and turn this emotion into something that strengthens our relationships instead of tearing them apart. Overcoming jealousy takes courage to look inward, build self-esteem, and nurture open communication with the person you love. It's a process that benefits not only your relationship, but also your inner peace and confidence. Remember, a healthy relationship isn't about control or surveillance. It's about freedom and mutual respect. If you want a love that truly thrives, investing in trust and dialogue is worth it. It's time for you to tell me, which of these ideas do you think you can start applying to your relationship today? Share your thoughts or experiences with jealousy in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content that helps you build stronger, healthier connections. Share this video with someone special, because transforming jealousy into real love is a journey worth taking together. See you in the next video.